So moving forward, let's say I have called this customer, Sri. Now quickly I want to update that what is the customer vehicle interest. Now this customer vehicle interest is Alcazar. Now you all are from the sales department and you would be knowing better than me. Always in sales, or most of the time, or let's say some of the time, customer would be also showing the interest for multiple vehicles, right? Is my understanding right? Can anyone from the dealership answer yes, no? Is there any scenarios where customer will show the interest for multiple vehicles? Let's say Alcazar, let's say Creta. Does that happen? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, it happens.
Cool. Thanks for your response, sir. Now let's say in that scenario, how I can manage this kind of tracking of multiple interests. So all that I'll do is that I'll click on the sales workflow and I'll click on the vehicle interest. Now as soon as I click on the vehicle interest, it is showing that this customer is interested in Alcazar. Fair enough. I call this customer. Now customer will tell, I'm interested in Alcazar, but it's very costly. I want to just drop down to Creta. So all I'll do is that select the model and select the fuel type and color and what's the reason. What's the reason is pricing. So I'll select the reason as price and I'll click on add. So as soon as I add, now I'll just go up and now you all can see next time when I open this customer profile, I will understand as a DSA that this customer has shown interest for 2 vehicles. Now you can see that there is an interested count showing 2. The latest interest that the customer has shown is on Creta and it is for E variant petrol red color and the reason is because of price. Now this is how I can opt or I can manage and track the customer's multiple interest on vehicle using the sales workflow right over here. Now this is how I can manage the vehicle interest. Now speaking about the test drive, let's say I have taken the vehicle interest of Creta. Now I call this customer says, super fine, I need a test drive for this vehicle. So all that I'll do is that go to the test drive here and then I want to make a new test drive, right? So I'll just click on add new. Then I'll say when is the planned date for the test drive? So it is today's date and customer is asking for this test drive. Let's say he will ask at let's say at 5 p.m. and the vehicle interest was for Creta and it is E variant. So I'll just click on this. Now there is one appointment taken for a test drive. Now let's say the customer will come and he will get the test drive done. Now you can see here in the status, the test drive status is actually showing as pending, which means let's say this customer has taken the test drive for tomorrow's date. Whenever I open the customer profile, I need not search down. As soon as I go to the status, it will be understood that this test drive is pending from my side. So all I'll do is that tomorrow or let's say today, I'll click on this edit and I'll say the test drive was done on same date and the vehicle used was Creta and it was given to whom? The customer name is Sri. Let's say the customer brother Shreyas took. I can just change that and click on save. Immediately after clicking on save, now you can see the status has turned from pending to completed. So this is how I can first understand what is the vehicle, which vehicle that the customer is interested in. If I want to schedule an appointment for a test drive, I can do that easily from the test drive workflow. Or let's say I want to change the customer type. Let's say he was a very hot customer. Now he's not showing interest. Now that can be done using other info, where I'll just click on other info and all the information will be shown. So if the customer from hot, if I want to turn it as cold, then I'll just select cold and I will submit the data. So this is how I can manage the sales workflow starting from the vehicle interest, test drive, or if I want to change any of the customer information, that can be done. Now let's say I've done all these things. Now I spoke to this customer and what about the disposition? Customer will sometimes say that Shreyas, do not call me now, call me at 3 p.m. today. So how will I mark that in the application? Now you all can see there is a disposition form here and it will say that first did you do an outbound call or you got a call from inbound. So I'll just select as outbound or inbound. Till now, if there is whatever the interest that the customer says, okay, so whatever the interest or whatever the interaction is there with the customer, till now I used to do that, write it down in WhatsApp or Excel sheet. Now I will not do that. Every information is shown right over here. All that I will do is that click on the relevant option. So if I have spoken with the customer, I'll say, did you talk to the customer? Yes. What did the customer say? In sales, this is all the option that the customer would be wanting to say. Either he will say appointment and whether it is for home visit or showroom visit. Let's say he is taking a home visit appointment. What is the purpose? You can see the purpose here, whether it is for test drive, follow-up meeting, blind visit, document collection, etc. Customer will tell, no, 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 now I'm not interested. So I'll be asking the customer, what's the reason? A customer will say, I'm interested in other brands. Let's say I'm interested in Kia. Then I'll I will click on this loss to competitor. What is the brand model I'll be able to select? Customer will tell, I'm interested in the same brand, but I'm planning to purchase from your co-dealer. So I'll select the co-dealer. You will get the list of the co-dealer name. What is the reason that the customer has shown interest in my dealership, but finally is purchasing the vehicle from some other dealership? There should be some reason. So I've just selected a dummy co-dealer name. Now you can see here all these other reasons. Let's say customer says that I've got a better finance facility. So I'll just select this and I will submit the data. As a manager, you will be able to understand that how many interest you have got from the customer for which model, and how many customers have now changed their interest either for a different brand or either for a different co-dealer. So you will be able to see that right over here and you will be able to track it. Customer will say that I do not have any reason. I do not want to purchase now. So I'll just click on loss to interest and I will submit the data. So this is all about disposition. Now let's say this happens most of the time where it leads to the duplication of DSAs calling to the customer. Let's say the customer is calling for showroom A and he's saying that his house is near to the showroom C and he wants to purchase the vehicle from showroom C. But the inquiry has got, the incoming call is being generated to the showroom A DSA. Is there any option where the DSA himself can transfer the lead to the other department or the other showroom? Yes, the option is yes. You'll just do it. All you'll do is that click on the other option here and you can either do it as an escalation or you can do it as a transfer. If it is a transfer, I'll click on transfer. What is the showroom? Let's say it is Jayanagar. Which executive is the one who will be managing the leads that is supposed to be managed by that showroom? I'll be selecting the executive name and I'll click on the submit. So this is where I can easily transfer the data from my bucket to some others DSA if the customer is showing the interest for that showroom. This is all about the disposition form. Let's say we will do a test call now. Let's say, did you talk to the customer? Yes. Now what did the customer say? Customer is saying, Shreyas, I'm driving. Call me after 5 minutes, please. So I'll tell, did you talk to the customer? Yes. It is follow. What is the time? Customer is asking me to call at 11:40. Now I will submit this data. So it is asking me to select a follow-up reason. So what is the follow-up reason? Let's say customer is driving or some reason I'll select and I'll submit the data. Now there was 5 pending follow-up. Now you can see there is 6 pending follow-up for today's date. Now this is also very important. Let's say whenever I'm calling to multiple customers, usually in the call center business, there is 30 to 40% of the customers sometimes or most of the time they always say that call me later. If I'm a call center agent, executive, I write it in my Excel sheet. If I'm a DSA, I will write it in my notes or I'll write it in my WhatsApp and I'll just keep it as a repository. In this application, let's say a customer who is asking me to call at 11:40, the system will show a notification reminder on the right side where a DSA or a call center team can understand that this is the exact time that I should be calling the customer so that the follow-up will never be missed. Now, is this important? As per my understanding, this is 101% important. Why? Because in the dealership business, while there is a business that comes from service, while there is a business that comes from insurance, or while there is a business that comes from accessories or extended warranty or etc., other services, everything happens from sales, right? So if I'm not able to keep the customer happy in the initial sales part, definitely for service or insurance, he may not come. So following up with the customer on the right time as per the promised time is very, very important, and the system will help that with a notification reminder on the right where you will be easily able to track the follow-up and do the follow-ups on time. So moving forward, so we have another, I think 3 more minutes to get the follow-up notification. So all that I will do is that I'll show you what else as a DSA I can check.